If you watch all my videos, you know I've been complaining about a bird that follows me around town. He poops all over my vehicles. Here he is. You think I'm making this up? He lives by my house, has a nest, but here I am 10 miles away. Followed me all the way. I'm watching you. Come here. Good boy. Come on, I got a net for you. That's a good boy. Come on. Come here. After all the expensive Mercedes and Lexus stuff I've been getting lately, I thought I'd order something a little more practical that us common guys can afford. So I called Honda and said, can I get one of your pilots? They start around $31,000, which is reasonable. However, this is the deluxe model, the all-wheel drive Elite, which comes with no options. Everything's standard, so I figured, well, the price might be a bit on the steep side. Yes, sirree, $49,015, but it does include a full tank of gas. Here's the side view. Here's the rear view. And let's open up the rear hatch, take a peek. Lots of room in here. 3-row seating. And of course, the third row does go down for more room. A storage area. Where's the spare tire? If you're looking for the spare tire, you're going to have to crawl underneath. That looks like a dirty job. Even though the Pilot is sold as an SUV, obviously it is because it has 4 doors instead of sliding doors. It still looks like a minivan to me on the outside. Has lots of wide room on the inside like a minivan. Has the driving view of a minivan. I can't even see the hood. So we'll be racking up some miles to see if it drives like a minivan, but we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Let's take a closer look at the vehicle. If you're one of those short-term video watchers that only use the first couple of minutes and moves on to another video, you might want to stick around if you're going to buy one of these, because I did find a couple flaws in this vehicle I find very aggravating. You might want to see what those are, so don't go away. In the meantime, we're going to take these headlights out in the dark, as we do in all my videos, and see how they perform. We'll do that right now. It's dark enough. We'll take these lights out and see what they do. Here we have the low beams on a wall 100 feet away. Very bright, good widespread, very widespread actually. Good height. Here we have the high beam on the building 300 feet away. No complaints here. Good spread, good height, good brightness. Very nice. Good low beam. Just barely reaches out. Overall, I would say Honda did a great job on these headlights. Nothing to complain about here. Under the hood is the Honda proven V6 engine, 3.5 liters. Same one used in the Honda Ridgeline truck and the Honda Odyssey minivan. Fuel economy rated at 19 city, 26 highway, and 22 overall. We'll be racking up some miles in the real world to see what it really gets. If you order the base Pilot, you get a 6-speed automatic transmission. If you order the deluxe model like this, you get the 9-speed. And this push-button transmission, which I absolutely love. I think this is the best setup you can get for 2 reasons. Number one, you're always going to get the exact gear you want. No accidental shifting. Number two, it doesn't take up any space. No knob or stick. This is really good. What amazes me are the number of vehicle testers out there that don't like this system. Even Consumer Reports call it unintuitive. What do you mean unintuitive? Drive, neutral, reverse, park. A monkey could do this. Oh well, teach their own. Since we're inside, let's look at the other features of the cabin. A nice glove box, lots of room in there. A giant center console storage bin. Lots of room in there too. Very simple climate controls. Lots of room back here in the second row seating. 2 in the front, 2 here. That gives us 4 so far. Plus 2 in the back for 6, but I think the second row comes with bench seats on the cheaper models, so you might fit 7, at least maybe 8 in here. These sun visors do slide back and forth to block out the sun from the side windows, like so. The gauge cluster is well designed, giving lots of useful information. But that brings us to the 2 flaws I talked about earlier. Notice how easy it is to see this gauge cluster when we're in the shade. But like many Toyota and Lexus products I've been complaining about, they use a plastic reflective screen in between you and the gauges. And here's the problem. The gauges are easy to see in the shade, but not always in the sun because of reflection, as you can see here. In all fairness, it depends on the angle and time of day. Here we moved. Now easier to see, but still can be a problem early morning, early afternoon. Not a deal killer, but just annoying. And you don't need this plastic on here. And am I the only person who notices this? They had, what, 3-4 years development time at Honda. You think somebody would have noticed and changed this. And I haven't seen any YouTube vehicle testers mention this either. I guess they must be driving in Alaska. Now that's number 1. Let's go to number 2. Next to the brake pedal, Honda gives us a very nice footrest to rest our foot on. Here, I put a shoe here to demonstrate how much room you have. That's the good news. The bad news, and most puzzling, why would you put an emergency brake pedal right smack in the middle where your leg goes? Here's your foot. Here's your leg. If they'd raised it 2 inches, moved it over 2 inches, why would you put it in the middle? What were they thinking? I'll demonstrate with my leg and my little cami jammies here. Every time I hit a bump, this is digging into my leg, and I'm not that heavy a person. If you are, this is going to be an even bigger problem. Again, I have to ask myself, how did this get into production without anybody noticing? Is there something wrong? And number 2, why is it all these other vehicle testers on YouTube and the magazines, how come they don't say anything about this? I'm not saying this pedal is a deal killer. I'm simply suggesting that when you go down for a test drive, put your leg down there and see how it works for you. I solved the problem by putting my foot about 3 inches lower. See what works for you. But just be aware of it. This concludes the part 1 of the video where we do the chit chat and show and tell. Part 2, we're going to go out and do some driving. As we do in all my videos, we're going to drive over some mild speed bumps around 25 miles per hour to evaluate the suspension performance on impacts. We'll do that right now. Here comes bump number 1. Pretty smooth. Heard some tire thumping. Didn't feel anything. Number 2. Very smooth vehicle. Very comfortable. Number 3. Here comes the big nasty bump. Just some thumping noises, but didn't feel a thing. This is a very smooth riding vehicle. Very quiet too. There's that other bird that's always chased me around. Can't remember if he's a raven or a crow. Come here. Don't hide behind that bush. The power steering's a bit on the light side, but it's very responsive. About the same as you get in the Honda Odyssey minivan. I think most people will be happy with it. Alright, number 3, the cornering ability. This is a very soft suspension vehicle, like a parade float, than anything else. Which is why I said earlier it drives like a minivan. Let's take a, yeah, lots of body lean here. Even with all-wheel drive. Yeah, this is about as fast as we're going to get to go. But who's going to take corners in an SUV that much in a hurry, right? Not many. If you do a lot of driving on the expressway, hauling people and gear, and you want to do so in total comfort, this is a pretty good vehicle for that. Gives you a lot of the advantages of a minivan without buying a minivan. For the past 122 miles, I got 14.8 mpg, but keep in mind that was very, very heavy city traffic. Lots of passing, some 0 to 60 times. And it wasn't exactly cool outside either. We'll be doing some more freeway expressway driving. See if we can up these figures a bit. But before we do, a couple of 0 to 60 runs and see if this 9-speed automatic can get power to the ground. Things got some good pickup. No complaints there. Very nice brakes too. A lot of glare on this speedometer. Once again because of the plastic coating, so you'll just have to squint. Hope you brought your stopwatch. I didn't. We're going to take an expressway trip, see if we can bump up the fuel economy figures. Traffic is unusually heavy today. Well, we'll give it a go. We're coming to the end of my trip, and after the FedEx truck is done throwing gravel on my windshield, we'll pull over and read the fuel economy figures. I think we got to pass this guy. There goes my fuel economy. Well, cruising at 70 miles per hour, we got 22.4 mpg. I do some more driving, but they're picking this up tomorrow. I got a nice Corvette coming, so time to give the Honda back and wrap up this video. I know I'm going to get some emails saying, hey, how come you didn't take this off-road, as you usually do on SUVs? And well, it's fire season and most of the forest roads are closed, and I just couldn't get there. Maybe next time. As far as the street driving goes, if you're looking for a large SUV with lots of room, good quality, something that's not going to fall apart when the warranty goes out like other brands I will not mention, this Honda Pilot's definitely worth a look. As far as my gripe about the emergency brake location and the glare on the gauge cluster, it's not a deal killer, just kind of a pain in the butt. You'll get used to it. Here's some video links to other SUVs we've done tests on. Just click and watch.